Hey, because I'll tell you, I'm coming after you today.
All right, Coach. Well, let's just start off with saying congrats on the first road win of the season. My question is more so about preparing for Coppin State.
Okay.
You guys have a huge size advantage, but throughout the season, you always talked about running and gunning, beating your team up, beating the other team up and down the floor.
Yeah.
Do you think you might want to slow it down now that you know you have a big size advantage?
Oh,
or?
yeah. They're really listening. Just watch the film on those young ladies. They're so feisty. They're so fiery, and they're gonna go faster than the ball can take them. And we gotta not try to match that. We gotta change that up, and not to take away from our speed, but we gotta manage the game and be more cerebral and not try to be like somebody else. But we want to try to dictate, and if we try to run with this team. This team is pretty darn good. Their record doesn't show it, but they really are.
Coach, you get the first road win of the season. Just how much of a, how do I want to phrase this? How much juice does that give this team? Knowing that you went on the road, you got your first road win, and you got that out of the way.
You know what? My mindset and what our culture is going to be: any place, any time, respect all, fear none. But we have to grow into that, right? With all these young ladies from different places all over the country, we're learning each other still. It has to do with this cultural thing for what's our culture like here for our women's basketball program. We're still evolving. We haven't been a whole year yet, so it's really difficult to say what that is and what we're trying to do. We're trying to be a certain way, and it's just going to take some time for us to get to gel with each other. But I tell you, our young ladies are really fighting hard to get in that foxhole and really become one. It just takes time.
Coach, after the closest game of the year, what do you think the team's learned?
They learned that, any place, any time, respect all, fear none. We know that we have to put two halves together. That Penn State game, that first half, game's over. At halftime, we can walk out there with a 21-point win, but there was a second half, and we didn't show up. The Purdue game, we didn't show up in the first half. In the second half, we had 5 more minutes. It could have been a different kind of game. And to a team that's like, I think 7-0 right now, we were right there with them. And Yale is a very cerebral team, very smart team, very athletic and physical team, but no one really saw the physicality because our players are what everyone keeps saying to us is we're so athletic, but you push us and you grabbing us and you pulling us to the ground. That's called a foul. And so we had to adjust, and we adjusted who we put out there. We shortened the bench in the second half, and we played somebody that didn't play the whole first half, and we ended up doing pretty good.
Coach, can you talk about the grit the team showed at the end of that Yale game?
That's what we're trying to build. That 4-letter word right there is grit. I love that word. That's a word that we utilized when we were in the Pan Am Games a few years ago in Peru. It's what we're trying. You want to fight for what you think belongs to you and your team, and it's going to take a blue-collar mindset. And our players are waiting for someone to punch us in the face, if you will, and we're coming out there like, oh my God, they're physical. Not to say we're trying to be physical, but who are we? What we're trying to figure out is what kind of initiation that we're going to take. And I think that you'll see a different play in us this particular game because we're trying to figure out who we are too. And so we're going to try a different style a little bit, and it's going to be a surprise. It's just we're going to try to play a little bit more full-court basketball and see if that's who we are. Because I'm not trying to be the coach of the year by my way. I'm trying to figure out who we are, and grit is a great word for what we're trying to become.
Coach, tomorrow's matchup against Coppin State is the first time you've coached against the HBCU since 2018. What does that mean to you and the rest of your team?
It means that we're playing another team. It has to be from a different particular conference. I don't play Yale different than I would play Virginia Tech. I don't play, Virginia Tech different than I would play Coppin State or Howard. I don't have that mindset where I got to compartmentalize where I don't play mid-major versus major. They're practicing and doing the same things that we're doing. Who zips it down, put it in, zip it up is a team that's going to have the success, and that's your heart. And that's that grit that comes along with it. And so I don't know how you can separate and make people different. It's just another team coming in our gym to try to take what we think belongs to us, and that's success, and that's a win.
Coach, when it was late in the fourth quarter, Deasia started to get double teamed, and she would find Lewis on back-to-back possessions, great passes. How much does that speak to her intelligence when she's on the floor?
She's the kid that averaged 6 assists last year in a mid-major program. All you got to do is stop her one way or the other and stop her shot. She's the most unselfish player I've ever coached, but she just averaged 23 points a game last year. She can do all kinds of ways. She can make that shot, or she can get the assist. And All our pigs got to remember to do is when she gets ready to do her little dance she does, go to rebound. You might discover it off the glass, or you might discover it in your hands. And our bigs are starting to really feel each other and understand how Deasia and Tisha play the game. And a couple of times, Stretch went up there like, what the heck? How I get the ball in my hand? Well, you went for a rebound. And guess what? You got the ball. So we're learning each other still, and Deasia's an incredible passer.
Coach, I noticed a few times against Yale that you and your assistants had to kind of calm down Dariana a few times. Can you talk about her energy and how that affects the rest of the team?
Don't you love that? Give me a Dennis Rodman kind of style player any day. I love to be able to calm a kid down, to put the fire under her feet. Calvin Sampson used to say that to me all the time when I was in Indiana with him. He said, you want the kid that you got to put the fire out of the belly. But you got to ignite the fire underneath the feet to try to build that up. You're going to struggle all year. Well, Stretch is our kid. Dariana's our kid. We have to sometimes calm down, maybe sub out, or maybe calm her down and give her a thumbs up. You want that as your foundational player, and our guards are really getting excited about, how high she goes up, because if she's going to be like that and battle inside, maybe we can get Asia to do that and get Sanaya and Kyra. Now we got that's our foundation. Our posts are our foundation, and we want it in the belly, not under the feet.
Coach, on the note of Dariana, when did she first appear on your radar at Alabama A&M?
About 12, 15 minutes after she went in the portal. That's it. I saw a kid that can rebound like crazy and went in the portal. We were in a staff meeting, and I said, Coach, DM her and see if she's interested. And we went 100 miles an hour because it was so late in the game, and we knew that we needed one more rebounder. And she responded back, and we brought her up, and we had the battle at the end for Florida State, Missouri, and some other big-time schools, and she kind of liked what we presented to her, and it's a blessing, and I call it a God win.
So you had the lunchbox at Buffalo, and now you got the hard hat here. Can you talk to me about the origin?
It's called grit, man. He said it, but I didn't. We want the passion player. We call it the PPP, purpose, passion, pride. Have a purpose, what you stand for, passionately go after it, be able to look in the mirror after it's all over. That's it. The game of basketball is a simple game, and winning is easy. But you got to play with something that's bigger than yourself, and you got to, figure out what you stand for. And I think that those kind of players, those blue-collar players, work well for us for the last 10 years at Buffalo. And why should I change what we stand for? Because we got better talent. And so, we thought about, we called the Buffalo Bling for being the bomb, but we're here now. And so it's the same kind of mindset. Let's blue collar this thing, man. Let's blue collar this thing and figure out how we're going to get this thing done. And I think our kids are really recognizing that. They know that they're the offensive side of the ball. I'm just defense. If you play defense, you can do anything you want offensively. Just don't throw the ball over the rim. I don't really care. Offense is your freedom, but defense is your heart. And I want them to play defense. And when we hold people under 59 points, we usually win basketball games.
One more question for Coach.
How much impact has Cheyenne had since coming back?
Cheyenne's my defensive player. She understands defense. That's why she's making her way back on the court so fast after she's been injured, because she understands the magnitude of the moment defensively. And she's going to get out there and she's going to fly around and throw her body around and angle smart these guys. And when she plays defense for us, she's become contagious, if you will. And others want to play defense, and everybody start having fun. And they got fun having fun playing defense. And now you get easy buckets. She is a major assist for our program. I'm glad she's healthy now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.